Hey all, welcome to the Demon Slayer review, season 1 and season 2. And don't worry, this is non-spoiler, but let's get right into it. So the plot of Demon Slayer follows our main character Tanjiro, who, because of personal reasons, has to join the Demon Slayer Corps, which is basically, as the name implies, people who hunt demons for a living. And demons in the show are basically vampires. I think that's a better way to describe them, and people are more familiar with that term. So let's get right into it. This show had a major impact when it first debuted. I would say it crossed over to the mainstream. It would be non surprising at all if you were not a fan of anime at all, but you started hearing about the show, hearing about the hype, wondering if you should watch it for yourself. And so let's talk about why it got that hype. It's because this show is made for mass appeal, in my opinion. It's a show that really, if anything's going to get mass appeal, it's this show because it's simple, it's straightforward, and the animation is beautiful. The technical aspects of the show is fantastic, especially the pacing. Usually at the first season, it starts kind of slow when it comes to an anime of this type of action focused. The setup is tough to get through, but the pacing in season 1, in my opinion, is brilliant. The animation and the sound quality is brilliant, especially once we get to season 2, because season 1 is really good and it's really good setup. But season 2, the animation, oh my God, it's so good. It's mind-boggling. I'm losing my. I can't even say words because of how good it is. It really blew my mind. I love the fight animation for season 2. It's really beautiful and fun to watch, and I've got super invested in it. And the show is carried by its main character, Tanjiro, who I think is one of the best main characters in anime right now. Tanjiro is a simple character, but you could have messed this character up very easily, or made him at least a bit cliche, especially given his backstory. But honestly, the fact that he deals with tragedy in a positive light, it deals with it with positivity, is kind of like a surprising change of play, change of pace, given that most characters with his backstory kind of brood and have this all the same feel. Tanjiro feels real. The positivity he gives off feels real. You want to get on his side. You want him to succeed because he's just such a likable, positive main character that really carries the show. He is, in my opinion, the reason why the show is so successful because he is such a well done character. I would say he has the same type of impact or at least feel as Superman does. And that's Superman. And talk to Tanjiro's popularity in Japan, there was a study where researchers asked kids what their favorite word was. Elementary school kids. Number 1 was mom. Number 2 was Tanjiro. Number 3 was dad. Tanjiro beat out dad for favorite words for elementary schools. I don't know what that says about dads or Tanjiro, but I think it really says that Tanjiro is popular and people love this character. And it's important for Tanjiro to carry the show on his back because we got to get into the flaws. Just because the show is built on the mass appeal and it's very easy to get into, and I think a lot of people like the show, it's still a very flawed show in my opinion because the main character, other than Tanjiro, the characters are fine. I wouldn't say there's any bad characters, but they're all simple. They're all kind of forgettable. Not forgettable, but it's tough to explain, but really, they're like all 7s out of 10s. Tanjiro's a 10 out of 10, and they're all 7s out of 10. The plot, it's simple, straightforward, it makes sense, but it's also 7 out of 10. Like, the show doesn't do anything bad, but it's a lot of stuff where it's like, oh, this is okay. Oh, okay, we're not going to see much character development, which, some animes do that, and it sometimes works, and I would say it does kind of work in this show, but also I kind of want better characters, if I'm being honest. Other than Tanjiro, all the other characters are fine. The villains are good, but not as memorable, and to be honest, like, they're all 7 out of 10s. Really, that's what it is. All the plot, the characters are 7 out of 10s, and if you're a guy who loves the plot and loves the characters and can't get through shows that have subpar characters or subpar plot, which this show sometimes has, if I'm being honest. It's very basic. It's a very basic show, which is why I think it's so successful, but also it's the biggest flaw of the show. I sometimes wish we were dealing with more complex stuff. But overall, just because of the technical aspect of how the show succeeds, as I said, the season 2 animation and sound quality, brilliant. I think it's worth watching alone or at least trying out just because of the pacing, the animation, Tanjiro, and the sound quality, all the technical aspects and the main character. I think that's why it's worth watching the show. However, if you're not into action, you're not going to be into this show. If you're really focused on plot and character, I don't know if this is the perfect show for you because there's a lot of characters I'm either fine with, kind of like, or don't like. There's not a lot of characters I love as much as Tanjiro because, as I said, Tanjiro carries the show on his back. But I think there's a lot to like about Demon Slayer. Now, I would argue it earns the hype, but I think if you go into it expecting it to be a perfect show, you're going to be disappointed because it is a very, very flawed show. It does some things fantastically well, like 20 out of 10, but there are some things where it does like 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. So that's my review on it. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe if you like these reviews. We're going to get more anime reviews coming, and I will see you all in the next one.